More than 70% of the Earth's surface is covered by the ocean. By 2020, humans have only been able to explore about 5% of it. Imagine what might be beyond our reach, depths we have not yet encountered, or a lost megalodon from prehistoric times. It's also possible that the remains of a long-defunct ship or the lost city of Atlantis await us there. Or maybe something dark and dangerous, who knows? While we wait for experts to investigate the unknown, below are a few riddles to ponder. Number 8. The remains of a 19th century ship. On May 16, 2019, researchers aboard the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration's Okeanos Explorer were in the Gulf of Mexico when the remotely operated vehicle they were testing came across the remains of a 200-year-old shipwreck. A closer look revealed that the ship was made of wood and covered in copper plating, and was supposed to be about 40 meters long. At this point, however, there were more questions than answers. Archaeologists still don't know where the ship came from, how old it was, what happened to the crew, or even what kind of ship it was. The only clues found were the numbers on the rudder, 2109, and iron and copper objects scattered nearby. Burnt pieces of wood suggested that the ship may have caught fire before sinking. After the discovery was made public, Frank Cantilas of NOAA expressed hope that other expeditions would be outfitted to solve the mystery. 7th place, the mysteries of the Black Sea. The Black Sea is both inhospitable and hospitable at the same time, and it is full of strangeness and mystery. Like the Bermuda Triangle, strange creatures, unexplained phenomena, and strange disappearances have been observed in the Black Sea. In 2000, Robert Ballard announced the discovery of evidence in the Black Sea that a huge number of people had died during the floods caused by the sea. This discovery was related to the story of the biblical flood as told in the book of Genesis, and naturally caused much controversy. During the Middle Ages, Turks and Russians reported seeing whirlpools in the Black Sea that sucked in ships and islands. These whirlpools supposedly appeared on calm water without any warning. As a result, the fishermen began to avoid such places, considering them cursed. In December 1945, 5 Soviet bombers disappeared over the Black Sea and no one has seen them since. In 1990, a Greek plane also disappeared. This led to the theory that there was a magnetic anomaly that caused the electronics to malfunction. It is said that in 1991, a Russian oil platform broke away from its berth and sailed into the Black Sea. An investigation revealed that all 80 workers were missing. Their abandoned belongings and half-eaten food were the only evidence that they had ever been on the platform. 6th place, Namps Bangzad. On December 27, 2018, the 1950-ton oil tanker Namps Bangzad with 11 crew members and a captain on board sailed from Sampit, central Kalimantan, to the port of Tanjung Priok in Jakarta. It was expected to arrive the next day. However, all contact with the ship was lost in Ujung Karawang waters on December 28. Data from the ship was last tracked on January 3, 2019. The National Search and Rescue Agency Basarnas believes the tanker may have been hijacked by pirates. Navy officials disagreed, saying the route the tanker was taking was considered quite safe, where a ransom was not needed. Navy officials also claimed that the ship changed position several times during its journey from Jakarta Bay to the port of Sunda Kelapa, but was not found at any point. A maritime expert, Oloan Sot Gurning, said the accident was highly unlikely because there was no distress signal and the tanker could not have drifted out to sea, as it would have been detected by the Navy. The Basarnas were to continue searching the ocean for 4 days, after which the police and Navy would take over. At the moment the tanker was reported missing. Place 5, Death Island. Koh Tao is an idyllic island located on the west coast of the Gulf of Thailand. Koh Tao means Turtle Island, and its coral reefs are inhabited by beautiful sea creatures, including turtles. There are many accommodation options for tourists here, designed for both budget holidays and those who want to indulge in luxury. It really is an amazing place to vacation, at least at first glance. Behind its beauty and luxury lies dark and disturbing evidence of crime. Doubtful rumors of body parts floating in shallow waters, and of the island being controlled by the local mafia came into the spotlight after a series of unexplained deaths. Now people are wary of going to Koh Tao, or Death Island, as it has been dubbed, and for good reason. In 2012, Ben Harrington died here when his motorcycle crashed into an electric pole. He was driving his motorcycle alone at the time, and his wallet and watch were never found after the accident. His mother believed he was the victim of a crime when especially strung wire was the cause, especially after the coroner reluctantly stated that the cause of death was an accident. In September 2014, two hikers, Hannah Wytheridge and David Miller, were found murdered on the same beach where Ben Harrington had vacationed before he died. It was later discovered that Hannah had been raped before the murder. The local police were unable to preserve the crime scene or track the island's port. Instead, they focused on interrogating two migrants from Myanmar, who were eventually found guilty and sentenced to death for the murders. However, police officers allegedly failed to collect DNA samples and check the victims' clothing. 2 weeks after the murders, another body was found on the same beach, that of Luke Miller, 24, lying at the bottom of a swimming pool. Then 23-year-old Valentina Novazanova disappeared from a hostel on Koh Tao and was never seen again. 6 weeks later, the body of a young girl was found, but it was not Valentina. It was the remains of Belgian tourist Elise Dalemain, her body burned and wrapped in several t-shirts. In January 2015, Christina Marion Annesley, 23, was found dead in a bungalow on the island of Tao. Her remains lingered for days before an autopsy was performed, leading the British coroner to reject the Thai experts' findings, accusing them of incompetence. All these unexplained deaths led to rumors that a family of serial killers lived on the island or the local mafia was involved in the deaths. 4th place. The remains of a shipwrecked ship and a curse. The ship HMS Wasp was built in 1880 for fishing and lighthouse inspection. It also carried bailiffs to conduct evictions. The Wasp was very popular in Derry and frequently called at the local port along with the ship HMS Valiant. On September 21, 1884, HMS Wasp was to sail to Moville to collect bailiffs and other officers who were to carry out evictions on Innistrahull Island. The route was familiar and everyone's spirits were high. Unfortunately, tragedy struck shortly thereafter. At 3:45 a.m., HMS Wasp crashed on the rocks off Tory Island. It sank within 30 minutes. As a result, 50 crew members died and only 6 survived. One of the survivors later recounted that when the Wasp approached Tory Island, it was sailing and its boilers were off. He intended to sail between Tory Lighthouse and the mainland instead of round the island, which was safer. In addition, the survivor claimed that all the senior officers were sound asleep, leaving the junior officers in charge. Nevertheless, most agreed that the shipwreck was very strange, especially since the ship had crashed into the rocks just below the lighthouse. The water was calm and the weather was fine. After the ship sank, the Tory Lighthouse was glowing brightly, but opinions differ as to whether it was on when the ship approached it. Some believe the lighthouse was turned off on purpose to prevent the bailiffs from bringing the ship to the island. Others claim that there was a cursed Tory stone aboard the ship, which ultimately led to the disaster. The Admiralty investigation has yielded no clues as to what happened, and the demise of HMS Wasp is shrouded in mystery. 3rd place. Mysterious divers. Divers cannot avoid encountering the paranormal when they explore the depths of the ocean. Not only have they heard the sound of boat engines starting when no boats were visible on the surface of the ocean above them, but they have also heard strange grinding noises coming from the engine room of the Japanese ship Hokimaru, which sank in Truk Lagoon in 1944. In 2007, a group of divers explored the ocean waters surrounding Grenada. Weary from the swim, the group returned to their ship to review each other's notes on what they had seen beneath the ocean's surface. One member of the group asked if his comrades had seen another diver in a white shirt waving at them. Alas, no one else had seen this mysterious diver, and all the participants were even counted to make sure no one was missing. Everyone was there, and there were no other boats or ships in the area. The group never found out who the diver in the white shirt was. In 2012, scuba instructors were diving in Santa Rosa, California, when they spotted an unknown diver with a pink tank diving and swimming near a blue hole. They swam closer to see if the diver was in trouble, but no sooner had they reached the hole than the diver disappeared. The diving instructors immediately notified the police, who in turn informed them that the figure at the blue hole had been seen by other divers, and then the mystery diver disappeared. Second place. Utsuro Bune. A strange story that has long been part of folklore tells of a strange boat that washed ashore in Japan on February 22, 1803. Fishermen who saw the boat claimed it was round in shape, with windows on top and metal strips on the bottom. They climbed aboard only to find a lone passenger seated at the wall, mottled with strange writing. The passenger, a young red-haired woman, was holding a box on her lap and did not understand the fisherman's language. She also refused to let the box out of her hands. The boat was called Utsuro Bune / half ship, and then the fisherman decided that the woman might have been a princess who had the head of her dead lover in the box. Not knowing what to do with it, they sent the boat with the woman inside downstream. They had never seen the kind of glass windows and metal strips that were on the boat, and so they eventually concluded that the woman might have been an alien. Others did not believe in aliens and believed that the red-haired woman was a spy from Russia. Nowadays, experts are of the opinion that the boat may have been covered with a dome to improve its navigability, but there is no explanation or theory as to who the woman may have been, what she had in the box, or what the inscriptions on the walls of the boat meant. First place. Sea monsters. Sea monsters of all shapes and sizes have become the subject of legends. It's hard not to feel awe at the mention of kraken, giant squid or man-eating sharks. Stories of encounters with sea monsters have been around for hundreds of years. One of the most famous stories tells of G.H. Height and his companion, who went to Madagascar in 1889 only to have the villagers tell them about a huge green sea serpent that attacked a fishing boat and ate one of the 4 fishermen in it. It then chased the 3 survivors all the way to shore before disappearing back out to sea. Height organized a group to find the unfortunate fisherman and also saw the kite. He and others shot at the animal, but to no avail. Naturally, there is no evidence to support this story, and the only account of it appeared in the Washington Herald in March 1909. Another frightening story saw the light of day in Fate magazine in 1965. Edward Bryan McCleary, 16, went with 4 friends to the open sea in the Gulf of Mexico in 1962. Their names were Warren Felly, Eric Rule, Larry Bill, and Brad Rice. McCleary returned home alone, exhausted and frightened. He told the police that a sea monster / dragon had appeared in the water and had attacked and killed his friends. He described the monster as a creature with a neck about 4 meters long, green scales, and an elongated turtle-like head. McCleary denied claims that he mistook a submarine for the monster, and went on to say that news outlets refused to publish his story unless he omitted the story of the sea monster. Larry Bill's body was allegedly found, he drowned, but the other 3 boys were never found. Naturally, very few people believed the story of the sea creature rising from the depths to attack the teenagers. What exactly happened on that fateful day remains a mystery.